Joe?
Similarly, they leave it 80 hours of work, 2.5 days, 3 days, on-site, on-site, off-site, when necessary, and also attend the meeting.
Joe, can I stop you? I'm sorry, Joe.
Go ahead.
Is there a deadline attached to these proposals?
Yes. So
Okay.
in both cases, I got a commitment from HRD to have a proposal by the end of the week. I have asked, I'm still playing go-between with this guy Rob Marco through Susan. I asked Susan to have it by the end of the week, but I'd like to actually just kind of take her out of the loop, just for suggestions from Marco. But we would, if we would go with him, we would be contracting directly with him and not through LTA. So once I can get for his contact information directly, I'll be able to reach out to him from that, him for the same proposal by end of week, so that it can be submitted on Sunday. That'll give everyone about a week to review. And I think what's important is having them there at the July 28th meeting. We'll have reviewed their proposal, be able to ask them direct questions, and if possible, make a decision. Right? If you make a decide after asking the questions, we're not prepared to vote on either one of them, and that may be the case. Or we may infer after listening to them, yeah, we've got everything we've heard from them, and we can make a decision. Going back to HRG for a second. So after talking to HRG, coincidentally, they reached out to me again and said, would I be interested in a kind of a two-headed approach? They actually wanted Debbie Grass, right, the same person suggested by Gateway, to kind of help or suggest in this process, where Debbie would be principally charged with helping us with the finance, setting up the budget for the year, as well as helping us find a longer-term manager, where HRG would help us with basically the rest of running the borough, day-to-day actions of the borough crew, help with the comprehensive planning that can obviously continue, implement a direct plan, and create funding for the direct plan, which is, obviously Jamie has been pushing that strongly. So, in a nutshell, here's what I expect. We'll have Marcia there, Marcia Taylor there, the borough manager, the director of finance for Mount Lebanon, who can speak to the HR analysis, helping us with the job description for the long-term line. I hope to have her there to speak for the next meeting. Hope to have Susan in the next meeting. I think we'll both welcome to that. I'm also going to have HRG principal in charge of that, along with the Debbie Graff, who I said is going to participate, or also their proposal are participate in the two aspects I mentioned, helping us find a borough manager and helping us with the finance. And then I'll ask Marcia to be there as well, to kind of have, if you will, a bake-off of the different credentials, I think, because separately each of them kind of crafted the proposal similarly, where no one's been willing to give us 100% of time. Both of them are willing to give us 50% of time, which equates to about 80 hours a month. Both willing to attend the borough manager, so the decisions we'll have to make if we decide to go with either firm is how we feel about their credentials, whether or not we think they can do the job, if we do the job best, and money, right? I believe they both mentioned a dollar amount, an hourly dollar amount, very consistent with each other. I don't remember it offhand, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of about $90 an hour. I asked you not to quote me on that, quote the proposal when I get it and share it with you guys. But that's where we're at. So it's going to be a very busy meeting on the 28th. I'll try to limit the agenda as much as possible. So critical business, and we can focus as much time as we can have to on the interim borough manager stuff.
Joe, it's Fred asking a question.
Can you hear him?
There's certain folks that can hear and not hear, so if there's questions directed from me, if you don't mind repeating, that would help.
Okay, if Fred has a question for you. Go ahead.
If perhaps we have some other people that would make proposals to the borough on this interim manager thing. And perhaps some of the other council people have some input. I appreciate the work that you've done. You say that you've got a couple of people that have submitted proposals, but I think that maybe some other council people have some suggestions, and maybe we can get a few other proposals. Are these something that are advertised, or, I mean, how do we go about this?
Jody.
I didn't advertise it. I'm certainly open to other proposals, right? I know our council in general has been a council that is most comfortable soliciting or supporting business. So we've had a minimum of 3 proposals. I had hoped that we were gonna have 3 proposals. HRT, Debbie Grass, and this guy Rob Martell. But, you know, as I said, Debbie Grass, they kind of teamed up. So I think they're better tandem team than they could as individual teams. So that was a big proposal down the two. Largely, you know, I use word of mouth, I use contacts through LCA, but you know, I did, and then there was one firm, one larger firm, Delta, which does this, does this as a kind of a form of their business. But one of the things I heard from them kind of went away from what I really wanted. Is they oftentimes place someone and then have someone who wants to place, you know, once they consider it as a possibility for a full-time job. I shied away from that because I really want the person who's actually an interim to actually come with, you know, agnostically or as much agnostically as possible to help us vet who the person is. I didn't want that to be someone also applying for the job. So there's not a lot of firms that do this work. I got a lot of turndown, not interested like Gateway. But if you have any names or if there's anyone that you would suggest, I can contact this week. I'm certainly open to it, and I'll ask them to be at the meeting on the 28th. I'll ask them for the proposal like you said. And you know, if we get to a point where somebody's interested in the proposal and has the results, and vote on something on the 28th, that'd be unfortunate, but so be it, right? You know, we are where we are. So please let me know, right? Who you find, who you think is a potential candidate for the interim service.
Yes, I will.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It's okay that I give him your phone number and he contacts you directly to see how he needs to submit a proposal, what the criteria is?
I think council as a whole
Yeah.
should define what the procedure is. Clearly, this is not running smoothly.
Well,
And
this-
we've known since March that this was occurring. I laid out a play-by-play of 6 steps we needed to take, and here we are, under the gun. It's very uncomfortable that now we're making knee-jerk decisions potentially at the next meeting without vetting anybody to run the borough.
Well, a lot of what Joe talked about, which is kind of hard to follow verbally because I'm a visual person, but a lot of it spanned from the committee meeting that we had with Joe, myself, and Nina, and Susan Hockenberry from LGA, Local Government Academy, because we basically went to her and said, where do we go from here? And so a lot of this, these options spurred from the discussion that we had. And it was probably it was almost an hour-long meeting that we had. So a lot of this is the fruition of that meeting. And so on those suggestions and her vast connections, these were some of the avenues that she suggested we take.
Although this was done initially when Mr. Callen had left, now that Jamie is also leaving, it's
Right.
kind of been fast forwarded
Right.
to meeting someone for the interim.
We're
This
gonna
is
run
true.
into an emergency situation here pretty soon.
We're there.
We need someone that's gonna hit the ground running. Someone who's very, very qualified. And I don't know that we have to go way out here to look for that person, you know? It might be a lot closer than we think.
I don't disagree with you, but I do tend to rely on the experience of Susan Hockenberry and the LGA because she's a person who finds resources for communities that are in our situations. And so
And that is definitely true, but I do think that it needs to be escalated. I think that
Absolutely.
it's taking.
So we're getting these things by
I mean,
Friday?
I'm sorry, yes, when I heard that Manager Vici was leaving the end of June, I was expecting some sort of special meeting to be called to discuss it because, you know, we've entered into an emergency situation. Because ideally, what would happen is there's overlap with the manager and the interim to see where things stand. As it is now, I mean, we're gonna hit a situation where there's no one running the borough and someone's gonna come in interim and not know heads or tails of anything. Because there's only so much Manager Beach you can do in terms of outlining what needs to be done.
So you're suggesting that when, Joe, you're gonna get these on Friday?
Yeah, so that's.
So we should have a meeting next week?
Next, take action on the 28th.
So can we have, Joe,
Board or resignation. That's right. They asked Jamie to send out the summer, yesterday on the motion, she declined that. So we have until the 10th, do any overlap, and if there weren't something on the 28th, you will still have about 2 weeks of overlap.
right, Joe,
That don't have any overlap, the sad truth of it is, right, the firm is probably gonna have to fall to me, right, transition from Jamie and then to an interim borough manager, unless again, somebody has, a suggestion that we can follow.
okay, Joe, so what I'm thinking is, if we get these things on Friday, we need to have a council meeting on Monday, right? So that we can sit and discuss these options. That's executive session, correct?
I was thinking that we would have
Personnel.
proposals on Friday, this Friday, we'd have a week to review them and ask questions via email, or at least prepare the candidates with questions so that they could actually come and answer those questions in person on the 28th. I
Okay.
don't see why
We can't deliberate
we
tonight.
have another public meeting between now and then.
Right, but we can't have those kinds of discussions in email, but we can have an executive session to sit down and discuss all of that in one bang so that we're ready.
So
I-
if we
I-
get the
that is
proposals
my
by
preference.
Friday, we need to meet on Monday. And
Right, we would need to have a meeting on Monday. Joe, are you gone for 2 weeks?
I am gone for 2 weeks. I actually will not be back until the weekend, the 28th. I mean, I can still participate in a meeting if that's where we're headed. But help me understand what we would figure out in that meeting versus the 28th. We could still hold executive session. We could spend the meeting after hearing the proposals here, and then have a whole executive session, similar to what we did tonight. But if we need to have another meeting, just again, have to characterize what we could get out of that meeting, what we could get that meeting. Why can't we do it all in one?
Well, I just feel like maybe if we have that meeting, we can expedite the process a little bit sooner instead of waiting for the 28th.
plus, you said you wanted to give questions to, didn't he say you wanted to give questions to the candidate to be prepared to speak on the 28th?
No, for us to have the opportunity to create questions to.
To ask them on the 28th.
Again, Ms.
I just-
President, I need to know the criteria for the people that are submitting these proposals. There are some other people out there that have an interest in this work and helping us in the interim. And we need some criteria. I mean, what's it take?
Well, we're looking for an interim person at this point, and I think through our discussion, an interim person is going to be 2 to 3 days per week. That's it, 2 to 3 days per week. So that's
How do
a
you
number
know
one
that?
Do they
Right,
need-
right,
do they
week.
need to be a current borough manager in the borough? Do they need to be not interested in the position and only interested in interim? Like that type of criteria, is that the criteria that you're looking
Well,
for?
I'm looking to find out what the criteria is. There are people out there that want to submit a proposal, and we should
Right.
look at them all. We
Right.
can't discriminate against one or the other. We can't say, well, we're going to bring this company in, but that's
But
the only
these-
people we're
But
bringing in.
these companies or these resources specialize in interim positions. They're not ones that are seeking full-time employment. And they are skilled and capable of coming into our situations and managing the crisis that we're in so that it can allow us to have time to do the HR analysis and then to effectively hire and move forward so that we don't have a repeat situation. So,
Okay, well, what's the criteria is what I want to know, because
Right.
I think there are other.
The council as a whole has to define that, and council has dragged its feet, and now we're here in this situation. We spent 3 months on a code of conduct, figuring back and forth on that, when all the while we knew we needed a borough manager. So,
Well, can we have, if we have a meeting on Monday, can we have the solicitor attend that meeting, and can we have Susan attend that meeting so we can get an objective plan as far as what we need to do to get our ducks in a row so we can resolve this emergency?
are we,
I have a suggestion.
No public comment until the end.
Is there a reason we're not just solely focused on firms that supply interim borough managers? Like, you know, Joe, you may have cut out some, I heard there's like somebody that's retired that's interested, there's this person. I mean, if we narrow our focus to firms that only provide interim managers, borough managers with experience, I think we would, you know, get
Further
further.
quicker, right?
Yeah.
They're available, they're ready to
Exactly.
go, this is what they do,
Yes.
that's their job.
Right.
We don't have the luxury of thinking about what it is we need or want at this point. We need a firm that specializes in this, and
Right.
they give us the candidates, we look at the candidates, you know, vet them, and it has to come to that now.
Joe, you there?
Yeah, I mean, the only firm that I heard actually applied to the firm by the name of Delta.
That's,
And most of this
that's not true.
information is coming to us from LTA, right? LTA has had comments on all of the folks that I mentioned, including HRG, including Debbie, including Rob. So most of that is coming from them. They've told me that there's, we have not a big market for what we need. I'll go back to them again and ask for agencies. I'm not against having more proposals, but, you know, the proposals that I hope to have Friday are more or less all the ones that I was actually able to get. There were a lot of those, who are even doing this work. You know, it sounds like Fred has potentially got the name of somebody or knows of someone that might want to be their proposal. I'm welcome to that proposal. And, you know, any proposal that they extend, you know, interim is in every sense of the word interim, right? It's a contract not to exceed 6 months. If we find out after week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, it's not working out, you know, to the extent we have somebody else named, we'll name somebody else. You know, this is really to make sure that we don't have a gap of management from August 5th moving forward. Hence the, you know, feels like we're fast traveling. I think we have to fast travel. But, you know, if anyone has any other suggestions, these are the ones that I came up with through my due diligence. We have others, and I'm willing to make those calls. Even on vacation, just tell me who they are. And I feel like I've vetted all the possibilities in this small area.
And I mean, we appreciate your work, Joe, but, you know, at the end of the day, there's two major players that do this. It's Delta, it's RDM. We go to them, tell them what we want, they supply the candidates, they have experience, they're vetted. It's done.
What's the second one? Delta, what was the second one?
RDM,
RDM?
yes.
I think there are other companies out there.
I'm just saying, those are the big players. There may very well be others.
Municipal,
I just emailed that to you, Joe.
Okay.
Okay, so,
In a perfect world, right, we'll have those to compare as well by Friday.
well, we need to make it a perfect world. Like, we need to express to these people, we need something that we can review by Friday so that Monday we can sit down and have a meeting. Yes, can we make that happen?
Yes.
I want to make that happen. Joe?
Yeah, so how, I mean, don't we have to advertise for a public meeting?
How's that work?
After we,
Not if we have an executive session, right?
Executive session.
Yeah,
You can,
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, I got it. So you're
So,
saying. we have
Monday the
to vote on
21st.
Friday, We meet with the executive session on Monday to review those proposals. Sure.
okay, Monday, executive session Monday, the 21st, and what time are we calling it?
We can't hold an executive session to review proposals. We can only hold an executive session to discuss candidates and the private personnel pieces.
And the proposals are for the candidates.
Now, the proposals would be for us to enter into a contract to obtain a candidate.
But we would need to review the candidacy of them though, correct?
No, Trace, they would say, we are going to enter into an agreement with Crafton Boroughs, Crafton Council
Okay.
to provide X number of candidates for interim borough manager for a
Okay.
period of 6 months.
So if we get information from RDM and Delta, do we need to review that? Is that executive session review? Or is that, these are all the proposals, we'll all sit down, open session, and discuss and pick one?
If it's a contract.
So RDM, what I'm asking you then, is RDM and Delta, that would be a proposal for contract as well? True.
Proposal and contracts are two different things, though, so.
A
whichever,
proposal to enter into a contract.
thank you,
Yes.
okay.
It's
So,
not executive session material.
okay, then
And
that's,
can I,
that's
can
what
I
I'm
also
asking.
request that we have the solicitor here from now on, so we don't have these uncertainties?
Yeah, I'd like to know why he's not here.
I don't know
Okay,
why it's not.
different subject.
Yeah, let's stay on track here. So Joe,
Yeah.
so what is the proposed outcome now? We're not doing executive session, we need to have an open session meeting, yes?
I'm sorry, you guys, I want to catch something or not.
Do we have enough time to advertise to have a meeting on Monday?
We are going back and still saying executive session.
That's my question. Do we need to have executive session or an open session?
I still feel
I don't
like
think
it's
we
personal.
can, because I don't think we can have a public meeting on Monday, because it's not enough time to act.
That's correct.
Right, so if the executive session is nothing,
I will check with the solicitor first thing in the morning to
Thank
this regard and have an answer for you
Thank you, Jamie.
as to whether or not you can have executives. I truly believe that you can.
You can
because-
have executive session.
Because it's personnel. And also contractual. If they're bringing a contract to you and you're discussing the terms of that contract, that is executive session.
and it seems to me like the executive session is appropriate, right, because one, we're not gonna have the candidates here. So the only thing we're gonna be discussing is the terms of the contract, and the contract negotiations, right, we can have an executive session, so I think that's fine.
We don't have contracts.
Proposals by Friday, and we're certainly gonna get proposals from at least two candidates, and RTS and turn something around to us, right, and see what their terms would look like. So I don't see a problem having just the executive session on Monday to discuss those terms, right? It's gonna basically revolve around what their qualifications of their candidates are, what hours they're willing to commit to, and then what rate, you know, I mean, that's pretty much all we'll be looking at.
So you're gonna reach out to Delta and RDM to ask them to find us A, B, C, D, and then on Monday, we're gonna review what they provided you. Is that what we're saying? And then how many days and how much and when they start and all that stuff?
It would be my preference for the current manager to reach out and do all this legwork. I mean,
Well,
President Hayes is on,
whomever-
he's on
whomever-
vacation.
Whomever needs to be done, so.
Well, I mean, I'll work with Cindy, right, and it doesn't have to be me, right, but I will warn everyone, right, there's a good chance that either or both Delta and RDS are gonna turn us down. That's sort of the feedback I got, right, from LTA, that when they say, hey, we don't have any money, right, so we can ask them, and I'm gonna do my very best to get that by Monday. But even if we don't, we'll at least have two other ones to review, so it's gonna be two or as many as four. And maybe more than four, because who knows, maybe Delta and RDL will submit several candidates as possibilities. So we'll be able to review those candidates, maybe they'll offer options, right? So, it could be two, it could be four, it could be more than that. But again, I think it's gonna come down to, we're gonna have to evaluate the credentials of the candidate, the hours that they're willing to commit to the project or work, and their rate. And those are the three components, that will be under review.
Okay, all right, so from that, we're having the executive session Monday, the 21st.
And any other company or individual that wants to submit a proposal
They need,
should do that by Friday,
right,
through Jamie's office.
And Jamie, can you confirm with the solicitor?
I just asked him to call me first thing
Yeah,
for clarification.
thank you, Jamie.
So,
I'm very uncomfortable with just like, hey, if you're interested, submit a resume or whatever with no one knows what they're submitting anything to. That's why, like, my preference is to go with companies that do this.
Right, which is what we're gonna reach out
But
to RTM.
what I'm
and
saying
Delta.
is like, if we're opening it up, we're just, we're setting ourselves up to be on uncertain ground.
Okay, I understand your point of view.
Well, if we don't open it up, then we have a discrimination.
But we're not opening up for
We're just gonna
employment, it's
reach out
interim
to
services,
to
that's all.
agencies for right now.
Yeah, it's just agencies that specialize, because they're gonna know what we need.
We know what we need.
I don't think we do know what
We need somebody here to work.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
However,
Carry on.
Anything else, Joe?
No,
Oh.
that's it, I think,
Me too.
you'll be looking, if you get the proposal from Marcia for the HR, it'll go tomorrow. And and if I get the proposal earlier this Friday, I'll print it out as early as I can. But, yeah, I guess we'll see, we'll touch base again on Monday. And Frank, let me know, right, I think you have someone in mind, right, by all means, let me know who that is. And
Yes, I will.
Jamie or myself,
All right.
Be one we review as well.
Okay, all right. Monday, 21st at 7 or 6, what did,
We do 7.
we could do 7. 7 o'clock, good. Monday, 21st, 7, be there. Square. All right, unfortunately, there is this motion on the table now that we've had that discussion. Is there any further discussion on the motion?
Of her resignation. is
Yes,
what we're
that's
talking about.
actually where the discussion came out from. So, a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Amendola,
Yes.
Ms. Amendola,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
No.
Ms. Weitzel,
Yes.
Mr. Hayes,
Is it my turn?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah. Mary, call me first for the rest of these motions, so I know when I'm voting.
Call them first.
Oh.
So, yes, when you vote.
and Ms. Pose.
Come on, it's almost 9 o'clock here.
No.
Let's go.
No.
Motion carries.
Okay, all right. I will entertain a motion to concur with SHACOG recommendation to award joint municipal preventative maintenance year 4 contract to the lower bidder Inside Pipe Contracting at bid price of $188,246, of which estimated $21,000 represents Crafton's portion of the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing the motion moved and second, is there any discussion? No discussion on the motion, move to a vote, please.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Amendola,
Yes.
Ms. Amendola,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzel,
Yes.
Ms. Pose.
Yes. I will entertain a motion to authorize payment to TA Robinson Asphalt Paving Incorporated in the amount of $17,638.62 from the 2013 Accounts Payable Reserve Fund, representing the second and final payment for the completion of the 2013 road reconstruction project as reviewed and certified by Gateway Engineers.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, call for vote, please.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzel,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Ms. Amendola,
Yes.
Mr. Amendola,
Yes.
Ms. Pose.
Yes. I will entertain a motion to authorize payment to A. Moranti Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $116,079.48, representing payment number 1 for the work completed between June 9th, 2014 and July 3rd, 2014 for the Clearview Avenue Phase 3 project as reviewed and certified by Gateway Engineers.
So moved. Second.
Motion has been moved and second. Is there any further discussion? No, hearing no discussion. Call for a vote, please.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Mr. Amendola,
Yes.
Ms. Amendola,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzel,
Yes.
Ms. Pose.
Yes. Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the additional work authorization order with Gateway Engineers for the construction, administration, and inspection services for the 2014 road improvement programs for the amount not to exceed $15,000.
12,000.
I have,
Number 7.
number 7 is $15,000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no further discussion, call for a vote, please.
Mr. Hayes,
Yes.
Ms. Weitzel,
Yes.
Mr. Phillips,
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
Yes.
Ms. Amendola,
Yes.
Mr. Amendola.
Yes.
Ms. Pose.
Yes. And I will entertain the final motion to approve additional work authorization order with Gateway Engineers for additional work for the 2014 Clearview Avenue Phase 3 project for alternate bid packages and meetings for an amount not to exceed $12,000.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing no discussion, call for a vote, please.
Mr. Hayes?
Yes.
Mr. Amendola?
Yes.
Ms. Amendola?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Phillips?
Yes.
Ms. Waitzel?
No.
And Ms. Post?
Yes.